All right, here on 757 Saturday Sports Talk on ESPN Radio 94.1. Matt Hatfield here with you as we kick off the month of September. Football is getting ready to start at the professional level. We've got college and high school football underway, and we're pleased to be joined by an official with the National Football League wearing uniform number 100. She was the first black woman hired by the NFL as an on-field official, and she's a native of Rochester, New York, becoming the third female on-field official after Shannon Easton and Sarah Thomas in the NFL. Just got done officiating the Broncos and Vikings NFL preseason game, and she's here to talk about her journey to the NFL as well as this new nonprofit, Make Meaningful Change, with a fundraiser to celebrate educators. And this all-encompassed community engagement organization has a focus on providing educational enrichment services to disadvantaged youth. Maia Chaka with us. Maia, thanks for coming on the program. How's life treating you?
Life has been good. I can't complain about a thing.
Well, let's start with just your journey to the NFL. Could you have ever imagined in your wildest dreams that you would be doing this now for a living? People watch pro football games all the time. Some love officials, some don't, depending on the calls and so forth. But you're now one of these special privileged that get this opportunity each and every week.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very long journey. Like most people think it happened overnight. I've been officiating for going on 15 years now, about the same amount of time as I've been an educator. And it started with, working high school football and Pop Warner football and never turning down an assignment, and then moving up through the ranks and working college. And when the NFL called me up to be trained by them, it took about 7 years of training for me to actually get on staff. So it was just some hard work.
Yeah, and you've had all those different steps along the journey. I know beginning in 2007, you had the high school football games. You had the state championship game in Charlottesville that you officiated, Division I football. You go through the ranks, Pac-12, NFL. Was there any moment where you had to pinch yourself saying this is surreal?
Yeah, when I first got the call, and it was like, all right, wow. I just never thought it would happen. I was always just, into just working. And when it finally happened, I was like, wow, okay, it's cool. And then now, going back into year two, because, we never really expect, really to get invited back. It's not something that is like guaranteed that you're coming back the next year. So whenever you're invited back to, start a second year, that's always a plus.
Now, you're a proud graduate of Norfolk State University, behold the green and gold. You actually have some roots here in the 757 beyond that. You were teaching for a lot of years at the Renaissance Academy there in Virginia Beach. As you're going through all this and your career sort of unfolding, was there a point where you faced some roadblocks and some adversity, and who kind of helped steer you along the way to get through some of those trials and tribulations?
Oh, man. So there are quite a few roadblocks, but it's the crazy thing is I live here on the East Coast, but my mentor lives in the West Coast. He lives on LA. And so that's how I ended up working in the Pac-12. And that was a person who I really relied on a lot when either I was frustrated or even just like for some career advice and, how to maneuver. His name is Chuck Stewart. He lives in LA. That's been like my cornerstone to help get me over the hump. But I mean, I jumped over pretty much every roadblock you can possibly imagine, between, your regular teaching job and the football job, and just trying to navigate those worlds and balance between personal life and professional life. And, just keeping a level head has always been difficult.
I want to get back to your NFL officiating here in a second, but let's talk about this nonprofit, Make Meaningful Change, that I just mentioned. Give us the whole genesis behind it and what's it stand for and what's the whole purpose.
Yeah, so Make Meaningful Change, or also MMC, is what we like to refer to it for short. It's pretty much stemmed from me, my number one passion is education and helping the youth. And, I've been put on this platform and I've been given, this, I've been given this powerful voice now because I do have the NFL seal behind me. But I want people to know that I'm still the same person. And, even though that certain career and, certain endeavors have taken me away from being a classroom teacher, I still want to be involved. I still want to be able to give back and, help develop youth, because that's what I really want to be known for. Somebody who's for their community, somebody who's for the youth, somebody who's for educators, somebody who's for small businesses, pretty much like the people's champion. That's what I want to be known for, more so than breaking a barrier, because breaking the barrier is a personal accomplishment. They can say, yeah, well, you're still setting the tone for others, but it's not. The action is, what am I now going to do to make sure that we continue to break barriers, or that we get tired of announcing the first Black or the first woman or, you know, the first Hispanic. We have to create, you know, a sense of normalcy when it comes to leadership. And so what MMC does, we are pretty much trying to empower youth. We're targeting really middle and high school kids, because that's where the drop off is what you see when a lot of the motivation is lost. And we're taking on students who don't care where you live in the 757. You know, we'll take them from Virginia Beach to Suffolk. You know, if there's a way to get you even, we'll go out as far as Williamsburg, Yorktown, if you want to come participate in whatever it is that we have going on. We'll try to make that possible for you. But we don't care where you live. We don't care what your grades are like, you know, because we believe that we can actually, through the programs and the things that we're offering, we can empower you and inspire you to eventually turn it around and do better, like in the classroom. So what we want to do, we want to work in collaboration with small businesses to pretty much have like these almost like career workshops where these kids are learning these skills and they're finding an interest in hands-on activities, and we can help meet them where they are in order to teach them professionalism within a craft, as opposed to trying to teach them how to be professionals or follow these rules, you know, just in a school setting, because everything needs to be reinforced. And then on top of that, we also want to make sure that we're providing support to educators as well. So those educators that are going in every single day and they're in the battle, they're in the trenches, and they're, you know, in low performing schools, and they're doing everything they can just to help these kids achieve. We have to make sure that we're recognizing them and rewarding them as well.
So awesome. We're talking with Maia Chaka. She's launched the nonprofit Make Meaningful Change. It is 757 Saturday Sports Talk here on ESPN Radio 94.1. Maia, now an official with the National Football League, becoming the first Black woman hired by the NFL as an on-field official, also just the third female, and she is a proud graduate of NSU. Behold the green and gold. Norfolk State University, also taught in the classroom there in Virginia Beach at Renaissance Academy. And what you're saying is so powerful, Maia, because I was just having the conversation the other day about, you know, what's your occupation? There's all different people that have various jobs. You know, I'm a writer, sportscaster, you're an official, but that's what you do. It's not who you are. Is that one of the things you're trying to get across with this mission and purpose? Okay, we all have different things. We're all different people, but it's how you treat people and what you do to make an impact beyond what you do on a daily basis in terms of your job.
Absolutely. Because I mean, I think that's where we start to see just an improvement in society as a whole, when people just really just show their human aspect. I give you a perfect example. You know, I'm an official. Most people hate referees. Like when their team loses, we're the first ones they blame. But then when people actually interact with me, oh, she's kind of cool, you know, then they just hate me when I throw a flag on their team. So, but it's really just trying to, you know, create this human element of people. You know, that everybody's human, you know, everybody has a gift, everybody has something that they can offer, you know, and it's just really about bringing out those strong points for people, you know, in order to build.
I know you just had an event here that took place here recently with the Make Meaningful Change. Give us an update on how that's going and other things that are on the works with your organization and all your community efforts.
Yeah, so we just had our kickoff event at Maker's Craft Brewery. We had a pretty good turnout. You know, a lot of educators, they felt very supported. We had a lot of people in the community come out as well. But the best part about it is, you know, the students that we had that really help us, because MMC is also really governed by kids. Like all of our decisions that are being made, all of the merchandise that you see that we have is created by kids. They even helped with the planning process for the event. It was just for them to be able to see, you know, their hard work and other people enjoying their hard work. I think that's just like the starting point. And they're so excited. They're off to like recruiting and trying to get more teams involved, which is really what we want. You know, it's one thing for adults to sell a program to a kid to get them involved. But it's another thing when you have actual kids that are leaders and then now they have the buy-in and they're helping out with getting everybody involved. So from there, we're looking at our calendar now and trying to figure out where we can fit in our very first workshop. And we're looking at small businesses right now. Anybody who's interested in collaborating or has something that they'd like to share. We're open to that as well. You can email us at info@makemeaningfulchange.org if that's something that you're interested in. Then you don't have to worry about teaching. You know, we're ran by teachers and kids. We can help you out with that if you've never done like a workshop before. But if you just want to get, you know, your business name out there and, you know, just feel like you want to be involved in the community, we're open for that.
That's awesome. So there's all great ways to get involved with volunteering and donations with you, with Maia Chaka and the Make Meaningful Change. How gratifying, rewarding is this for you? Because, you've gone through a lot to get to where you are in your profession, but just to see the smiles on faces. And you mentioned about the youth, because you're an inspiration to youth, and we'll get to that in a second about what you do now, but how that really gives you that comfort when you do have those rough times and bad days, and it is a grind through the NFL season.
Absolutely. I mean, and this, it was a grind even putting this together, because this was new to me. This
Mm-hmm.
was new starting a nonprofit. I'm used to going to work and clocking in and working underneath somebody else's system. And now when I have full free reign and I have to make all the decisions and call the shots, and sometimes as a leader, you have to go back and check yourself to make sure that your messages were clear enough and why aren't people buying on. But believe it or not, what keeps me going is, I said, I work so closely with the kids and with the youth, is to see their drive and how much they want to see this succeed for them and how much they want to see me succeed. So really, that's where I get all my motivation from. It's not, I'm not self-motivated at all. I'm really motivated by the feedback that I get from the young people, because they need me to do well in order for them to do well.
Couple more minutes here with Maia Chaka. She's launched her nonprofit, Make Meaningful Change. A fundraiser just took place with the academic after party, a fundraiser to recognize and acknowledge the educators in Hampton Roads for their tireless efforts and dedication to the students who make up the community. And now an official in the National Football League here. It's ESPN Radio 94.1 and 757 Saturday Sports Talk. And Maia, what's it mean for you to be an inspiration to other young women, to Black women, to just the kids out there in general that one day say, I want to be that Maia Chaka, and they watch the NFL games, they put on the TV, they see what you've done. What's that mean to you when you hear that?
Well, I hope they want to be better than me, because we still need some owners. We need some women that are head coaching. We need a lot of things. So hopefully they're just saying, okay, she did this. That gives me hope to say I can do, something else, or I want to surpass her. And if there's anything I can do to help you do that, I'm more than willing to help. But what it really means to me is that now I know, I have so many people watching, and there's so many people that are rooting for me, that every decision that I make now, it's not about me. It never has been about me. And I just think I was lucky, I'm the one that was chosen, because they knew that, I have it in my right mind as a servant leader, that every decision I make is to enhance somebody else. And so that's just a mindset that I like to have. I like to be the person that's giving the assist or giving the alley-oop. I don't necessarily need the spotlight. So as long as I can see people who come up under me flourish, that is the true meaning of success.
Oh, that's so great to hear. And what advice would you give a young person out there, as far as from the official standpoint, or wanting to do something with a nonprofit or helping out in the community? Because we all, like you said, we're looking for all kinds of leaders and ways to make society better. And sometimes you can do that through the realm of sports, right?
Right. So the thing is, you can't be afraid to talk to people that don't look like you. And that's how I've gotten all my opportunities. People who don't look like me, we don't listen to the same music. We obviously don't wear the same clothes, unless you're rocking my MMC t-shirt. But, you can't be afraid, to get to know other people. And because that's really how you grow and how you become a professional. If you hang out with people that only have the same interests as you do, you're going to be stuck, and you're going to be, people are just going to say you're this one type of way. You have to talk to everybody else and put yourself out there and not be afraid.
So good. Well, last one who gets you out on this. If someone wants to get themselves an MMC t-shirt, tell them how they can do that, or anything with your nonprofit organization, how they can help out, website, some more details, any upcoming events people need to know about.
Sure. So you can hit us on our website, is makemeaningfulchange.org. And that's pretty much a centralized hub on there. We do have the link to our account where you can purchase t-shirts, where we will have updates on events. And that would also take you straight to our social pages. But we do also have our Instagram page, which is make.meaningful.change. Our Facebook page is at mmc.org. And our email is info@makemeaningfulchange.org. So if you have any questions about how you want to volunteer, or, when our next event is, or, if you want to get your child involved, you could just pretty much send us a message, or just make sure you keep up with our updates that are going to be posted on our website.
Awesome to hear. Well, she's gotten multiple awards from Virginia Beach Public Schools, the Men for a Hope Trailblazer Award, the ABC World News Person of the Week, Black Enterprise 40 Under 40 Class of 2021, and Orange Blossom Classic Breaking Barriers Award recipient. Out of Norfolk State University, Maia Chaka, NFL official, thank you so much. Congrats on all that you're doing, not just in the National Football League, but through your community outreach and make meaningful change with this nonprofit organization. And we'll be watching for sure on those Thursday nights, Saturdays, Sundays, Monday Night Football when you're out there. Continue success and keep in touch.
Thank you so much.
Maia Chaka with us here on 757 Saturday Sports Talk here on ESPN Radio 94.1.